Hello students, in the previous lecture of working capital management, we have studied about, we have basically done the comparison of the hedging approach with the conservative approach by taking two things into consideration. One was cost consideration and the other is the risk consideration. So cost consideration we have already covered, and now we are starting with the risk consideration. Under risk consideration, we'll be comparing, taking risk as the factor, comparing the conservative approach with the hedging approach, and also a trade-off between both the approaches. So we have already done the cost consideration part. Now we are starting with the risk consideration. Before moving on to the risk consideration, I would like to remind you that under the cost consideration, we came out to the conclusion that the cost of financing under the conservative approach is higher than the cost under the hedging approach. So now let's talk about hedging approach under the parameter of risk consideration. Hedging approach is said to be more risky in comparison to the conservative approach, and there are certain reasons for that. First, which we have already observed in the cost consideration also, is that there is no net working capital involved in the hedging approach, because obviously they are not using long-term funds to finance the short-term seasonal needs. Therefore, the current assets are just equal to the current liabilities. Whereas on the other hand, the conservative approach has a high level of net working capital. Why? Because they are using the long-term funds to finance the seasonal needs also. Only emergency needs are financed through short-term funds. Secondly, the hedging plan is also considered to be risky because it involves full utilization of the capacity to use these short-term funds, and because of that, in emergency situation, it may become difficult to satisfy the short-term needs of the company. Now let's talk about the conservative approach. The conservative approach is just opposite to that of the hedging approach. Here the company does not use any of its short-term borrowings. It focuses on the long-term borrowings only. The firm has sufficient short-term borrowing capacity which helps in covering the unexpected financial needs, which obviously helps the company to maintain a good net working capital. So we can summarize that the hedging approach is a high profit and high risk approach. High profit, why? Because obviously the costing is very low, and high risk, why the risk is high? Because no net working capital is involved, because the entire financing is done through the short-term borrowings. And whereas in conservative approach, the profit is less because obviously costing is very high, but the risk is also very low. Why? Because there is high net working capital available. So now, because these two approaches are the extremes, a hedging approach and the conservative approach, so one has to find out the trade-off between the profitability and risk, and need to understand what would be the right approach to be followed by a organization or a company. So we'll be studying the trade-off between the hedging and conservative approach. So one has to find the acceptable financing strategy. What is acceptable financing strategy? It is nothing but a trade-off between the matching, that is the hedging approach, and the conservative financing strategies. One has to find the in-between road to both of these strategies. So as we can see that the hedging approach is associated with high profits as well as high risk, while the conservative approach provides low profits and low risk. So obviously neither of the approach by itself would 100% serve the purpose of the efficient working capital management. So a trade-off between these two extremes would be the acceptable financing strategy. So here we'll be trying to find the third approach is the trade-off between the two approaches. Here we'll try to strike a balance, providing a financing plan that basically falls into both these two extremes. So If I talk about the exact trade-off between the risk and the profitability, it differs from company to company, from case to case, depending upon the risk perception of the decision maker. So the entire trade-off depends upon the perception of the decision maker. So one possible trade-off we will be talking here about is we'll be actually assuming one possible trade-off could be assumed to be equal to the average of the minimum and the maximum monthly requirements of the funds. So we'll be taking out the average of the maximum as well as minimum monthly requirements. How we'll be doing this, that I'll be teaching you in the further slides. So this level of requirement of funds may be financed through the long run sources, and for any additional financing needs, short term funds may be used. So we are taking the same example of the ABC Company Limited, which we have taken earlier, to show you the trade-off approach between the hedging and the conservative approaches. So we have taken months from January till December. Then we have column number 2 as the total fund required, column number 3 is the permanent requirement, and column number 4 is the seasonal requirement, which we already have studied. What is the total fund requirement, what is permanent requirement, and what is seasonal requirement. So as I've already mentioned, that the approach we'll be following here is we'll be taking the average of the maximum requirement and the minimum requirement to find out the total monthly requirement. So in this case, the maximum fund required is rupees 9,000. The figures are in lakhs, which I've highlighted in red. In October, you can see the maximum fund requirement is rupees 9,000 lakh. And the minimum fund requirement was in the month of May. I have highlighted it with green color, is rupees 6,900 lakh. So what I'll be doing is I'll be taking out the average of both, that is 9,000 plus 6,900 divided by 2. So that is rupees 7,950 lakh. So what I can say is I can say that 7,950 lakh is the average requirement, average monthly requirement, the permanent requirement, I could say. So the column 3, 7,950, this is how we have derived the permanent requirement of rupees 7,950. Now you can see that it is clear from the particular table that no short-term funds are required during 5 months. Which 5 months? I've highlighted them with green: March, April, May, June and December, because the additional seasonal needs are 0. How did we came out to the additional seasonal needs? The total fund required minus the permanent fund required. If it exceeds the particular figure, then we derive the additional seasonal needs. If it is not, then it may be 0. So in these 5 months, no short-term funds are required because long-term funds available exceeds the total requirements for these funds. But in the remaining 7 months, the company will have to use these short-term funds, and these short-term funds are totaling to rupees 2,700, and the figures are in lakh. So it's 2,700 lakh. Now we'll try to find out the cost of the financing plan under the trade-off approach. So the example we have studied in the previous lecture, the considerations would be, the assumptions would be the same. Here also we are assuming the cost of short-term funds as 3% and cost of long-term funds as 8%. So now let's try to find out the cost of short-term funds, cost of long-term funds, and total cost of the trade-off plan. So we have taken out the cost of short-term funds as 6.75 lakh. Then we took out the cost of long-term funds as 636 lakhs. By adding both of them, we got the total cost of the trade-off plan as rupees 642 lakhs, 642.75 lakhs. So this is the figure I have taken into that particular table. So here I have put that particular value in the total cost of financing under the trade-off, which is 642.75. So the level of profits is intermediate. The total cost of financing under hedging is 581, under conservative it is 720, and it is between both of them, which is 642.75. that is, it is intermediate. Okay, so this is a trade-off between the hedging and the conservative approach. So this is how we have done the comparison. So we can clearly interpret from this table that the hedging approach is the more risky approach, while the conservative approach is the least risky approach. The trade-off plan stands midway, that is, it is less risky than the hedging approach but more risky than the conservative approach. So the measure of the risk is what is the level of the net working capital. So from the point of view of profitability, we can say that the preceding analysis, we can establish the relationship between the profitability and risk by taking two major things into consideration. One is, the lower the net working capital, the higher is the risk, and the higher the risk of the insolvency, the higher is the expected profits. So this is the major interpretation we have took out from this entire comparison. I would like to repeat the interpretation. The higher is the lower the net working capital, the higher is the risk present, and the higher the risk of the insolvency, the higher is the expected profits. So now the decision maker would decide that what kind of approach they want to follow. It entirely depends upon the risk perception of the decision maker, that which of the between these three approaches, which of the approach the decision maker would want to follow. It could be either the hedging approach, the conservative approach, or the trade-off between both the approaches. So this is how we are done with the approaches to find out the right approach for the net working capital or the working capital management. Now we'll be moving ahead with need for working capital, followed by the determinants of the working capital and the computation of the working capital, and that will mark the end of this particular module. So I'll be continuing it in the further slides. Thank you.